Neighborhood Smith Element, copy at White 6.
That's a weapon.
Yeah. Hotel 26, Crazy Horse 18.
In 2010, everybody thought that the war had been won, and it was over. It was just small pockets of resistance.
Yeah, Roger. I just estimated there's about 20 of them. There's one, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But when you looked at the data and it was analyzed, and a totally different picture emerged. It actually had gone from bad to worse.
All right, we'll be engaging.
Roger, go ahead.
You must remember that the attack on Iraq, although presented as a war, was not a war. It was so one-sided. And it became an attack on the civilian population. The most vivid and probably the most educative revelation was collateral murder.
Light them all up.
202 traffic, 260.
Come on, fire.
Hey, Roger.
Keep shooting.
The collateral murder has had a wide impact. It has changed the perspective of the war. It woke people up to the horror of this illegal invasion and the war and the aftermath of it. It was very important to actually go to the scene and actually do investigative work on the scene in this instance, because there were lack of clarity from just observing the video who these individuals were, and we wanted to get to know the names, to understand the circumstances of how on earth you had wounded children being taken out from underneath basically their dead father, who was, well, in my terms, assassinated. It was important to go to Baghdad so you can get an untainted evidence and witness testament. And that's what we did. We brought there, we got death certificates and other evidences pertaining to the incident. And of course, the compelling testimony from the individuals who all told the same story.
This is Bushmaster 7, go ahead.
Roger, we have a black SUV or bongo truck picking up the bodies. Request permission to engage.
Bushmaster 7, Roger. This is Bushmaster 7, Roger, engage.
1-8, engage. Clear.
Come on.
In this instance, you are obviously going after unarmed civilians who are actually on a rescue mission to save somebody who is wounded. So it's an obvious war crime, and it's shocking to maintain that this is within the frame of rules of engagement of the U.S. military. It's important to understand the asymmetry of the situation there, that you have even a silent helicopter so high up in the sky it's not visible. The cannon on the Apache helicopter is equipped with large hollow bullets, so the effect when the bullet hits its objective is that it explodes like a small hand grenade. It's designed basically to be used against armored vehicles and tanks because it can penetrate steel, and to use that against humans on the ground is just outrageous in itself.
Oh yeah, look at that, right through the windshield.
When I was on the ground there in Baghdad and meeting a group of relatives of those who were killed on that square that day, among the crowd an old man came forth and said, they bombed my house. What can be seen in that part of the video is that two men, obviously with AK rifles on the back, go into a house, and it's decided to basically obliterate the house with a Hellfire missile.
1-8, this is Hotel 26, over.
Roger, have another individual with a weapon.
Griffin 20, Roger.
Shannon.
It's in the same building.
Hey, Roger that, just ensure...
Before they pull the trigger, an innocent bystander or a man just walking past, there's a market nearby, is seen walking straight into the crosshair and the path of the Hellfire missile. Despite seeing this clearly on the screen, they shoot. This is a residential neighborhood. When you walk through this neighborhood, you can see laundry hanging from the the lines, people going about their daily lives trying to adapt to a very difficult situation in a war zone, but people try to retain a level of normality.
احنا جالسين بالشقة أستاذ، وإذا رأسا العمارة اهتزت فجأة، يعني دايركتلي اهتزت العمارة، رأسا البوب كلها يمن كيف باب دخل علينا دخان أبيض، وبدينا ما نسمع، يعني البنات يصرخن ما حد يسمع الآخر، عشان يعني بس لحد يعني أحس كأنه لحد الآن أكو أصيص بذاني ما أسمع نهائيا، وبرخ 5 دقائق أخرى أو لحظات الصاروخ الثاني بعد نهائيا ما حس يعني.
There goes, look at that bitch go. Swoosh.
Nice missile. Did it look good? Sweet.
والصاروخ الثالث يعني أحس البناية كأنها يعني رجة أرضية يعني.
Roger. Radio, American 2 zeros off of 3114.
بالضبط رجة أرضية. أي بعدين ما يعني جو الناس قتلة بالشارع وبالبناية 6 وزوجتي وياهم بعد ما حسيت يعني فشي فظيع يعني بساعة اللحظة والله ما توصف يعني.
5 families were basically living in this house that he owned. It's another example how there is no total disregard for those who are nearby. Just to get these 2 guys, you have 2 men. You were ready to down and kill everybody inside.
Oh yeah, look at those dead bastards.
Nice.
And I remember when I first met Julian, he said that to him and to others, it was that word nice that turned the stomach, that told you so much. In other words, it was murder.
Well, in this incident, the Collateral Murder incident, there is no mention of any civilians. Everybody is categorized as enemy combatant. It is to lower the numbers of what they call collateral damage, which is rather an awkward term for killed civilians.